Right, so first day out after the COVID lockdown, and we're heading to Dinokeng Nature Reserve, hoping to hang out with the big five. It's about a 100-kilometer drive from Joburg to get here, so it's about an hour, and it's all highway all the way here. Hey, it's travelgigolo, and we are driving through Dinokeng Game Reserve. This is the only Big 5 game reserve in the province of Gauteng. So this is our first outing since the COVID-19 lockdown, and it's great to be outdoors again.
For self-drive day visitors, the gates open at 6 a.m. in the morning and close at 6 p.m. in the evening. When you arrive at the gate, you basically pay to go in for your vehicle and for the occupants thereof, and you also get a map and you're on your way. And with the COVID-19 precautions in place, basic screening is also undertaken. Our main reason for going to Dinokeng is to get out of the city and go see some wildlife and be in the bush for a while. In respect of wildlife, you can expect to see many of the herbivores that are typical of the Highveld area.
The bush is relatively thick in some places, so there are places where you have quite tall grass and quite thick woodland, and in those instances it's maybe a bit difficult to see some of the animals. However, there are quite a few places where it's a bit more open, the grass is shorter, and even though they're trees, they're a bit more sparse, and so you get some really good game viewing.
So giraffes, zebra, kudu and various other antelopes. There's a good spectrum of predators as well, so cheetahs for example, which we have seen, also lion, leopard and jackals, etc. We haven't seen the lions and leopards ourselves, however we have heard quite a few first-hand sighting reports. We spent quite a bit of time birding, so from a birding point of view it is a really nice place, and we saw quite an abundance of different species of birds. This is a Big 5 park, however besides rhino we haven't seen the rest of the Big 5 ourselves. Notably though, we've heard first-hand accounts from friends and so on that have seen other species in the Big 5. One of the nice things for day visitors is that there are a set of picnic sites. There are picnic sites that are run by the Dinokeng Nature Reserve, and there are also some privately owned picnic sites like the Elephant Watering Hole. The sites are pretty well run, they're really clean, and all the basic amenities that you would expect at a picnic site you will find there. And we also found the staff to be very helpful and friendly. At each picnic site there are braai facilities as well as tables and chairs, and also basic ablutions. The Elephant Watering Hole picnic site is really cool. It is privately owned, it has a shop where you can buy your basics and some really nice facilities besides. The self-drive roads are all dirt roads. Most of these roads are accessible or drivable by a typical road car. They're generally quite smooth and a lot of the topography is relatively flat. There are however some tracks that are strictly for 4x4, and you need a 4x4 with at least 200mm of clearance. The 4x4 routes don't require any kind of technical driving, you just have to have the right vehicle to make sure that you can get over the little dips and rocks and so on.
So when you enter the game reserve you get a basic map at the gate. That map is okay, but there are a few problems with it. In particular, there are a number of routes that are not part of the self-drive routes that are not marked on the map, so sometimes it's a bit confusing. So when you're driving, you've got to make sure that when you reach an intersection that you check that intersection out on the map and ensure that you're going in the right direction. So what we found that works really well is to use Google Maps with the satellite image on, so that you can see exactly where you are and you can see the roads around you, and then you can try and correlate that with what's on the map. Quite often you're driving along and then suddenly you come to an intersection like this here, where there's a private road to the one side and then the self-drive route carries on, and you've got to turn and keep on the self-drive route, although that's not indicated on the map.
There are markers at various intersections which tell you which way to go to stay on the self-drive route. However, there are a number of intersections without markers, and so sometimes it's not quite obvious as to where you should go. There are of course many accommodation options that exist within the Dinokeng Nature Reserve, so lodges and campsites, etc. So we probably will camp there at some stage in the future, and then we'll do a review as well of the campsite.
So overall, this is a really nice place to go in Gauteng. It's just a short drive from Joburg or Pretoria, and you've got the Big 5 potentially. I think realistically, this is not the Kruger Park or one of the bigger national parks, and so you shouldn't expect the same abundance of animals and so on, although it is a really nice place to visit. So we're in here during level 3 of the COVID-19 lockdown. So it's been really fantastic because we can't drive out of the province. So this is pretty much our only option to get out and potentially see the Big 5.
So I hope you found this informative. If you did, hit the like button, also subscribe and check out my other videos. Give us some comments below about your experience at Dinokeng as well. Until the next episode, go everywhere, see everything, have a great time.